The ocean is a vast, unexplored frontier, more mysterious than the surface of Mars. For centuries, cultures worldwide have told stories of mermaids, half-human, half-fish beings, sometimes dangerous, sometimes benevolent. These legends persist across continents and centuries, with sailors and explorers swearing to their encounters. Are these just myths, or is there a deeper truth behind the sightings? Our journey will explore the evidence, the psychology, and the enduring allure of mermaids. The ocean keeps its secrets well, but our fascination with what lies beneath remains as strong as ever. Mermaids aren't just the stuff of fairy tales. Throughout history, some of the world's most famous explorers have claimed to see them with their own eyes. In fact, figures like Christopher Columbus and Henry Hudson didn't just hear stories about mermaids. They actually recorded their own sightings in official ship logs, treating these encounters as genuine events worth documenting. These weren't idle tales told around a campfire, but observations that made their way into the historical record, blurring the line between legend and reality for generations to come. In 1493, as Columbus sailed near the coast of what is now the Dominican Republic, he described seeing 3 mermaids rise from the sea. He noted in his journal that they had faces not as beautiful as they are painted, but distinctly human-like. Columbus's account is one of the earliest and most famous European records of mermaid sightings in the New World, and it sparked the imagination of countless sailors who followed in his wake. His words reveal both a sense of wonder and a willingness to believe in the extraordinary. Decades later, in the icy waters of the Arctic, English explorer Henry Hudson's crew reported their own astonishing encounter. According to their journals, they saw a creature with the upper body of a woman and the tail of a speckled fish swimming alongside their ship. The sailors described her long hair and piercing eyes, and their accounts were so vivid that they left little doubt about what they believed they had witnessed. For these men, the mermaid was not a distant myth, but a living presence in the wild, uncharted seas. These reports weren't dismissed as mere fantasy. Instead, they were taken seriously by mapmakers, naturalists, and scholars. For centuries, maps of the world's oceans were decorated with illustrations of mermaids and sea monsters, warning sailors of the unknown dangers that might lurk beneath the waves. Early scientific texts debated the existence of such creatures, and some even attempted to classify them alongside whales and dolphins. The belief in mermaids shaped how people understood the ocean and its mysteries. Even notorious pirates like Blackbeard took these legends to heart. He was said to avoid certain stretches of sea, which he marked as enchanted waters on his maps, out of fear that mermaids or other supernatural beings might bring disaster to his ship and crew. For sailors and pirates alike, the ocean was a place of both opportunity and peril, where the line between the real and the imagined was often blurred. For coastal communities, mermaids became powerful symbols. They represented the ocean's beauty, its shimmering waves and mysterious depths, but also its danger and unpredictability. Fishermen told stories of mermaids luring sailors to their doom or warning them of coming storms. These tales were passed down through generations, shaping the culture and folklore of people who depended on the sea for their survival. Today, these historical echoes remind us that the boundary between myth and reality was once razor-thin. The stories of mermaids in explorers' logs and ancient maps show how people tried to make sense of a world that was still largely unknown, where every voyage could bring new wonders or new terrors. In an age when the world was full of blank spaces and uncharted waters, anything seemed possible. The legends of mermaids remind us of a time when the ocean's mysteries were endless, and the line between fact and fantasy was as fluid as the sea itself. Not all mermaid stories come from the sea. Some are pure invention. The most famous is the Fiji mermaid, a grotesque fake displayed by P.T. Barnum in the 1840s. Barnum's marketing genius turned a monkeyfish hybrid into a national sensation, sparking debate and fascination. Scientists quickly exposed the hoax, but the public's desire to believe kept the legend alive. The Fiji mermaid teaches us to question evidence and recognize how easily wonder can be manufactured. It's a cautionary tale. Our hunger for the extraordinary can blind us to the truth. Yet, the myth endured, cementing the mermaid's place in popular culture. Sometimes the story is more powerful than the evidence. Mermaid sightings didn't end with the Age of Sail, far from it. As technology advanced and the world became more connected, tales of mermaids found new life in the digital era. The ocean's mysteries, once whispered among sailors and fishermen, are now broadcast to millions with the tap of a finger. Today, anyone with a smartphone can become a storyteller, a witness, or even a creator of legends. Stories of mermaids have gone viral, spreading faster than ever before. Social media platforms and video sharing sites are filled with clips and images that claim to capture these elusive beings. The digital age has transformed the way we experience the unknown, making it possible for a single sighting to reach people across the globe in seconds. In 2009, the quiet coastal town of Kiryat Yam, Israel, became the epicenter of a modern mermaid legend. Dozens of locals and tourists reported seeing a strange, half-human, half-fish creature basking on the rocks at sunset. The sighting sparked excitement and curiosity, drawing crowds to the shoreline each evening in hopes of catching a glimpse. The story quickly caught the attention of the media, igniting a frenzy of speculation and debate. News crews arrived, cameras in hand, eager to capture evidence of the mysterious mermaid. The local government even offered $1 million reward for definitive proof, fueling the imagination of believers and skeptics alike. Despite the crowds, the cameras, and the promise of fortune, no conclusive evidence ever surfaced. Yet the legend only grew stronger, as each failed attempt to capture the mermaid seemed to add another layer of intrigue. The story became a symbol of humanity's enduring fascination with the unknown. Online, grainy videos and blurry photos claiming to show mermaids continue to rack up millions of views. Some are obvious hoaxes, while others remain unexplained, fueling endless debates in comment sections and online forums. The internet has become a vast ocean of its own, filled with both genuine curiosity and clever trickery. The line between hoax and hope is blurrier than ever. For every skeptic who debunks a sighting, there's a believer who sees proof of something extraordinary. The digital age has made it easier to share stories but harder to separate fact from fiction. Now anyone can be a potential witness, or a trickster. With smartphones in every pocket, the possibility of capturing something mysterious is always within reach. But so is the temptation to stage a convincing illusion, blurring the boundaries between reality and imagination. Technology offers us powerful new tools to document the unknown. Drones soar above the waves, cameras capture every ripple, and editing software can turn fantasy into apparent reality. The search for mermaids has become a high-tech pursuit, blending age-old wonder with modern innovation. But with these new tools come new ways to deceive. Deepfakes, special effects, and digital manipulation can make even the most outlandish sightings seem plausible. The challenge of discerning truth from fiction has never been greater, yet the belief in mermaids adapts and thrives, fueled by the age of instant sharing. Each new post, each viral video keeps the legend alive, inviting new generations to wonder what might be lurking just beneath the waves. In today's world, the mystery is now just a click away, waiting for the next curious mind to dive in and discover it for themselves. What do experts say about the enduring mystery of mermaids? For centuries, the question has fascinated not only the public but also the scientific and academic communities. Today, scientists, historians, and folklorists all bring their unique perspectives to the table, each offering a different lens through which to view the legend. Biologists are quick to point out that a half-human, half-fish creature is biologically impossible. The fundamental differences between mammals and fish go far beyond what we see on the surface. Our evolutionary paths split hundreds of millions of years ago, resulting in two entirely separate branches of life. Human anatomy and fish anatomy are simply incompatible. Lungs and gills, warm-blooded and cold-blooded, hair and scales. The idea of a creature that is both is, from a scientific standpoint, pure fantasy. Yet the fascination persists, and biologists often find themselves fielding questions about mermaids from curious minds of all ages. Historians like Dr. Von Scribner, however, approach the legend from a different angle. They see mermaids as products of wonder, fear, and imagination during the age of exploration. When sailors ventured into uncharted waters, they encountered unfamiliar animals, manatees, dugongs, and giant squids, that could easily be mistaken for mythical beings in the fog and uncertainty of the open sea. Old maps and sailors' journals are filled with accounts of strange creatures, blurring the line between reality and myth. For these explorers, mermaids became symbols of both the dangers and the allure of the unknown. Folklorists trace the mermaid myth even further back, connecting it to ancient deities like Atargatis, the Syrian goddess of the sea. Across cultures, stories of half-human, half-fish beings appear in carvings, statues, and oral traditions. Each society reshaped the story to fit its own beliefs and fears, turning mermaids into everything from benevolent protectors to ominous omens. The myth evolved with each retelling, reflecting the hopes and anxieties of the people who told it. The mermaid legend is more than just a story, it's a living tradition. It reflects our deep and complicated relationship with the sea, a force that is both nurturing and unpredictable. For coastal communities, mermaids have become symbols of the ocean's mystery, beauty, and danger. Even today, tales of mermaids are told by fishermen and passed down through generations, keeping the legend alive. Science may insist that mermaids can't exist, but history and folklore help explain why we want them to. The legend speaks to our desire for wonder, for stories that connect us to the unknown. It's a testament to the power of imagination and the human need to find meaning in the mysteries of the world. No single field can solve the mystery of mermaids. Only by bringing together science, history, and folklore can we begin to understand why the myth endures. Each discipline adds a piece to the puzzle, revealing how the legend has adapted and survived through centuries of change. There's no scientific proof that mermaids exist, but the legend is undeniably a real part of human culture. It lives on in art, literature, and the stories we share with each new generation. Museums, books, and seaside storytellers all keep the myth alive, reminding us of our enduring fascination with the unknown. In the end, sometimes the story itself is the most important evidence we have. The legend of the mermaid endures not because it is real, but because it continues to inspire, to provoke curiosity, and to connect us to the mysteries of the sea and the depths of our own imagination. If mermaids aren't real, what did people see? The leading theory: manatees and other marine mammals. Sailors, exhausted and primed by legend, could mistake a manatee's silhouette for a mermaid, especially from a distance. Manatees nurse their young in ways that look oddly human, and their faces can seem almost familiar. Columbus's not-as-beautiful mermaids fit the wrinkled features of a manatee. In colder waters, seals or walruses might have filled the role. Critics argue sailors knew their sea creatures, but the mind can play tricks, especially when primed by myth. Mistaken identity explains many sightings, but not all. The mystery remains more complex than a simple error. The ocean is a master of illusion. Light, fog, and waves can turn logs or dolphins into something magical. Psychology adds another layer: pareidolia, our brain's tendency to see human forms where none exist. Sailors, isolated and exhausted, were especially vulnerable to these tricks. A fleeting glimpse becomes a memorable story, shaped by expectation and longing. These aren't lies, they're complex, very human experiences. Environmental and psychological factors combine, creating the perfect storm for a mermaid sighting. The mind fills in gaps with familiar images, especially when primed by legend. Sometimes seeing is not believing, it's imagining. Why do mermaids captivate us, even when logic says otherwise? They embody the unknown, bridging our world and the mysterious sea. Belief in mermaids is a rebellion against a mundane, explained world, a longing for magic and wonder. These stories reflect our hopes, fears, and desires, revealing as much about us as about the ocean. Whether romantic or terrifying, mermaids mirror our relationship with nature and the unknown. The debate isn't just about existence, it's about our need for mystery. The legend survives because it sparks curiosity and wonder. The real power of the myth is in making us ask, what if? We've explored history, hoaxes, science, and psychology, but the file on mermaids remains open. The ocean still guards its secrets. Stranger creatures than mermaids have been found in its depths. Perhaps the real question isn't, do mermaids exist, but what did people truly see? The consistency of reports across cultures is haunting. Science demands evidence, but the absence of proof isn't proof of absence. As long as the sea remains mysterious, the stories will continue. Next time you see something strange on the water, will you dismiss it, or wonder what else might be out there?